Welcome, soul friends. You are at the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. My name is Elspeth, and I am going to be your card reader today for the Radiant Astro reading. This is a 13-card spread. The center card is just a focal card that the other cards surround. The other cards are placed in a traditional wheel relative to the Western astrological wheel. In the 9 o'clock position is Aries, and it goes counterclockwise over to Pisces. The cards will not be representing a message for each of those signs, but if wherever you have those placements in your chart, they could be speaking towards you. They're all relevant because we all have these in our charts, each and every one of them. If you are having a solar return during this time, happy birthday, and you should find these energies quite productive for you throughout the year, very thematic. This reading will cover the time frame of the 8th through the 10th of April, while the moon is in Scorpio and the sun is in Aries. I ask a question to each of the cards, and they all come from a different deck. That's how I do all my readings. So if you listen to all the 4 readings I publish during each time frame, they consume, I believe it's 42 decks right now. So let's begin with our center card, and our question for it is, how can I silence my ego so my soul can shine? And by the way, the purpose of this reading is to really think about evolving towards having a single chakra. So if we refine our chakra systems to the point where we are really ascending as masters with the energy, we can bring all that energy together and become a radiant sun, so that we are able to beam that energy out into our environment and be productive in that manner, instead of needing to take things energy-wise from our environment. So anyway, the first card states that you are dearly loved is an eternal truth, for in the grand cosmic scheme of things, only love is real, and only love will remain forever within our hearts. Love does not judge you. It just unconditionally loves you. It is the true wisdom of consciousness. Seek shelter in love, and you shall hear the song of spirit and be guided by its sacred sound. Aries in the first house are our next position, and our question will be, how can I begin things with self-awareness for the protection of my physical body, as well as be conscious of my mask and projections of myself onto others? We have Uranus. Uranus is associated with the primal Greek sky god of the same name. Uranus brings up some powerful human needs, such as the desire for freedom and individuality, as well as push toward a larger vision and humanitarian service. Big thoughts, big insights, and big changes are represented by Uranus. The second house and Taurus will be represented by the Celtic Shaman's Oracle. How do my values generate resourcefulness, self-esteem, and wealth? The Keeper of the Wheel. A fiery great triskel, a triple spiraled wheel, spins amid swirls of incandescent light between 2 pillars of intertwined water birds. The key word for this card is fate. The Keeper of the Wheel holds the tides of fate in his hands, turning them according to a pattern that only he and the shapers know in full. He has the ability to move through space and time on his wheel, and thus offers keys to all of the realms. His appearance, however, can bring about unexpected change and reversal in any journey, and he often appears to set us free from impossible or stalemated situations. A guided meditation. Travel to a cave deep within the mountains. Within, there is a bright light, and you see, almost hidden at the back of the cave, a great wheel more than 3 times your height, turning slowly and silently. At its side stands a figure whose eyes are covered by a scarf, but who yet seems aware of your presence. You may ask him any question you wish regarding past or future, always remembering that the threads of fate are not set in any single pattern and may change at any moment in this world or the other. The 3rd house, Gemini. How does my mindset influence my interactions and define my comfort zone? From the Tantric Dakini Oracle, survival bears the number 61, signifying unity within the self as related to the world. According to the classification by elements, this is the last, or 10th, of the Earth cards, normally related to the Suit of Pentacles in the minor arcana of the traditional tarot. Great slag heaps form hills of the landscape. On the horizon, factory chimneys belch polluting smoke into the sky. Yet in the foreground, a few green shoots manage to push upward from the unlikely soil. This represents the survival of the life force, manifesting itself even in the most difficult environment. The slag heaps and smoking chimneys represent the misuse of the natural world by urban society, presenting us with a picture of pollution and action in the modern world. The situation portrayed by the card is the instinct to survive. The pollution may be in one's domicile or even in the mind itself, yet within both there is the potent desire to survive at all costs. The indication is that the positive will always triumph, whatever the odds, and that this realization, even in appalling situations, is itself the seed of the cure. The 4th house, Cancer. How can I implement self-care to nurture my feminine energy and emotions, as well as bring awareness to my subconscious, programmed by my ancestry? From the Prophet Oracle deck, open your heart onto the body of life. You would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? The owl whose night-bound eyes are blind unto the day cannot unveil the mystery of light. If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. The 5th house, Leo. We're going to take a card from a Egyptian-themed oracle deck. How can I enact play, self-expression, desires of my inner child, creativity, joy, risk-taking, and pleasure in my daily life? We have Sekhmet, transformation, fierce compassion, healer. Sekhmet's name means the power or the mighty one. She is a lioness goddess, the feminine face of the sun. Feared by many for her destructive capacities, yet also renowned as the quintessential healing goddess of Egypt. She brings the fire that fuels alchemical transformation. As the consort of Ptah, she is the spark that ignites the process of manifestation. She is a staunch guardian and protector of truth and justice, and in that capacity has a prominent presence on earth at this time. She shows us her fierce compassion as she assists us in healing the dual nature within. If you have chosen this card, it is time to pay attention to her. She will walk with you when you are facing challenging times and situations, conferring courage and protection. She can give you an infusion of her powerful energy to help you accomplish whatever you need to do. Neither codependent nor cruel, she is always truthful in matters of your personal growth and is willing to discipline you in a positive way. Where conflict and opposition exist in your life, she can bring transformation and restore you to peace. She helps us to shapeshift into our future selves, the selves we are struggling to become, as we evolve to the next level of consciousness. She opens and purifies our heart space, creating fertile ground that can receive the visionary seeds of who we will become. In short, she sows in your heart the seeds of your higher sacred purpose. She is a generous force and will take the time to help you set your course in the right direction so you can grow and transform the seeds of your soul purpose rather than your ego's agenda. When she comes into a reading, it is a good time to write down what you see or feel growing and blooming in your heart. The 6th house, Virgo. How can I give to myself and others for significant improvement? From the Enchanted Spell Oracle, we have patience, grace, perspective, higher purpose. Willow is associated with this card. The graceful willow tree usually grows close to water, and as such has many connotations with water legends, emotions, and the moon goddess. The magical properties of willow extend to moon magic, protection, and love spells. Willow bark contains pain-relieving properties and was used extensively in medieval times to bring respite to physical suffering. The priestess of patience stands serenely among the catkins, leaves, and seed pods of the willow tree. Clothed in emerald green, a sea serpent stands beside her as guardian of the willow, symbolizing the deep, watery depths of mortal emotion. The priestess of patience is associated with the northern hemisphere's mid-spring, spanning from the 15th of April to the 12th of May, and includes the fertility festival of Beltane. The willow teaches us patience and the wisdom of waiting for things to ripen at their own pace. When the patience card appears, the lesson is to be content to wait. Patience encourages us to see the bigger picture, to rise above petty arguments and small ideas, and have the fortitude to ride things out. Understanding the higher purpose of your current situation is important, and this may mean that things will not happen as quickly as you expect them to. The keywords associated with the willow tree are grace, guidance, and protection. Try using a different viewpoint to see your situation from a fresh angle. Imagine that you're looking at your life from above, rather than getting caught up in all the little details. This can give you some much needed perspective. 7th house, Libra. How can I practice equality and sharing to forge alliances and resolve interpersonal conflicts. From the Goddess Power Oracle, we have Saraswati, Mastery. Mastery is a genuine sense of effortless knowledge after a period of dedicated immersion. The Hindu goddess Saraswati asks you to enter her domain of art, language, knowledge, music, and poetry, and make this commitment to go the distance. Immerse yourself, body, mind, and spirit, in discovering all aspects of what is at hand. Learn and then learn more. Right now, if you adopt the role of apprentice and are willing to devote your heart and mind to something, you will become a true master. Deep wisdom knows only continuous learning. No matter what question you've come to explore, the goddess Saraswati reminds you that the pursuit of mastery is never ending, so enjoy every minute of it. Eighth house, Scorpio. How do the renewal cycles of my life give opportunity for mystery, intimacy, transformation, and shadow work? From the Mystical Shaman Oracle, we have Upper World. Angels, divine helpers, the ancient ones, and all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self, clear distractions so that you can move into a higher density. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is, in fact, the irritation you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small jumps. Sagittarius, the 9th house. How does my belief system generate meaning and encourage expansion beyond my comfort zone? From the Yogic Path Oracle, we have Niyamas, the 8 stages of yoga, laws of personal observance. You are beginning to reap the rewards of the inner transformational work you have done. This is just the beginning of a lifelong practice of personal observance. Tune into what your soul needs at this moment. Are there toxins in your body and mind that need sauga, purity? Are you experiencing contentment, santosa, for all the blessings you have been given? Are you using your tapas, disciplined energy, to take you toward your dharma, divine purpose? Continue the practice of svadhyaya, self-study. There is always more that you'll find when you open up the pathway to your true spirit. Take some extra time for yourself each day to practice Isvara Pranidhana, Isvara Pranidhana, the celebration and contemplation of spirit. My apologies, that had a lot of unfamiliar words in it. Capricorn, how can I achieve my realistic yet challenging goals step by step? From the Heart Path Oracle, we have soul assistance, soul guidance, unique perspective. We all have soul guides. Some people call them guardian angels. These loving beings have been part of your life since you were born. They silently observe all that happens to you but they never partake in your life drama. They can't control what you do. They basically just point you in the right direction. You do the rest. You may have sensed them in the space between your thoughts just before falling asleep, or when you get through a really difficult situation. When you connect with your soul guides, you fill you with light and energy. Althea is part of a network of beings from different planes, connecting you to the whole of humankind. She is here to help you and humanity progress to heart-based consciousness. The dot in the circle on her forehead symbolizes the creative spark of divine consciousness that connects us all. It is also the symbol for Archangel Michael, who is the protector and slays that which can hurt us. Symbolically, he is here to help you quiet your ego and be less fearful. The two owls in this card are guiding you to something you have always known but forgotten. Your three cats are here to remind you that there is magic in the air. Maybe you will go on promising new adventure. Maybe you will go on a promising new adventure. They advise you to go within, follow your intuition, and be confident. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. Like the cat, you might need to distance yourself from some people or situations. Sometimes the best cure for a problem is to step away from it. Cats are also associated with healers and healing. Their purring is on a healing frequency, so they can actually heal themselves or us with it. What is not well known about cats is that they help us with meditation and journey with us in our dreams. This may be due to the fact that cats love to sleep with humans. This may be, when they do, they assist us in our adventures. Now is the time to birth new, innovative ideas, trusting that there is a higher force helping you to find your own unique perspective. What you bring to light now will shift the planet. I am here to uncover that which has been hidden. The 11th house, Aquarius. How can my unique hopes and wishes be supported by others and heal the collective? Our card from the Sacred Geometry deck is Octahedron Child. The octahedron, with its 8 triangular faces, is one of the 5 three-dimensional geometric shapes commonly called the Platonic solids. Each has equal angles, edges of equal length, and equal faces, and each would fit within a sphere. Within their structure they hold cosmic wisdom. This card honors your inner child. Pulling it, you are asked to remember to connect with that perfect being within and play with the reason for your inquiry. Have serious matters of late prevented you from laughing and feeling the joy that is your birthright? Your child wants to run and dance and feel the air streaming over bare skin. Your child laughs at the serious face you make as you look in the mirror and tells you to lighten up. Your child is curious and adventuresome and sometimes even reckless, but always in a state of growth. Listen to this magical part of yourself and honor the messages you receive. Give yourself a hug. And our very last card will be for the 12th house, Pisces. How can I end the bondage of self-sabotage involving karma and repressions to become the bliss of self-transcendence instead? From the White Light Oracle, we have Sacrament of Extreme Unction. In an ideal world, we would finish our inner work, be completely healed, check it off the list and move on without any issues from the past intruding into our present life. In a more realistic view, we do our best to muddle through, gaining enough understanding and healing to attain some degree of closure and move on as best we can, flicking off remnants of the past which can arise, even while we are doing our best to let go. In an ever more challenging turn of our growth spiral, we may know something has run its course and no longer belongs in our world, and yet have trouble exercising the past and its pains, confusions, or attachments. So it bleeds through into the present, even though we know it doesn't belong there. To avoid the taint of the past causing unnecessary issues in the present, the oracle of the sacrament of extreme unction brings powerful spiritual last rites so you can be cleansed and liberated into the fullness of your next phase. In the Catholic tradition, extreme unction is performed at the time of physical passing to cleanse the soul and allow it to gracefully leave the body and enter the afterlife. In the context of this oracle, the symbolic equivalent of the sacrament is the powerful intervention of Spirit to free you from the grip of what has been. It is the liberation from habit and the compelling lure of the familiar. It is divine forgiveness and healing. And that wraps up this reading. It's been a pleasure to share this with you. Please feel free to look at any of the other readings I make available during the same time. And please join me again if you should feel it right to do so. Stay extremely blessed, as I know you will, and in love with yourself and the world. Take care, my dears.